This is Trevor Sternad from the Black Dahlia Murder here, and you're listening to the Everblack Podcast.
Hey, humans, God, this is odorous from Guam.
Going to the Fear Factory.
This is George Corey from Fisher.
This is Gatsby Double Drop.
This is Wade from Our Last Enemy.
Magnificent Suicidal Tendencies.
Hey, this is Wednesday 13. This is Rex from Kill Devil Hill.
This is from Sepultura. You're listening to Everblack Podcast.
Before we go into this episode of the Everblack Podcast, we just need to give a shout out to our show supporters, the occult clothing brand Electric Witch, who have amazing apparel from shirts to hoodies to hats to beanies, dresses and more. Check out their full range at electricwitch.com.au and put in the code Everblack for 20% off your order. Also, don't forget to subscribe, rate and review the Everblack Podcast on Spotify and iTunes podcast streams, and see all our video interviews on the Everblack YouTube channel. You can also read all our articles and reviews at everblack.com.au. All right, on with the show. Lachlan, thanks for joining us on the show, man. You and the Valhalore crew are gearing up for your Intimate and Acoustic tour, which kicks off next month. You've played a couple of local shows here and there, but how does it feel that you're actually going to be hitting the road again for reals this time?
Mate, like we're so pumped. I mean, being this time last year, we were gearing up for what was meant to be like a heavy tour. So, we're getting all the Facebook and Instagram memories of stuff that we were doing this time last year. It's like, we finally get to do it this time, but just in a very different setting. So, really looking forward to it. And as you said, we have played a handful of the Intimate and Acoustic shows up this way, and we were just amazed at how well, all the kind of the heavy fans responded to the acoustic side of what we do. So we're like, what better way to, kind of get the tour ball rolling than take the acoustic show on the road.
Have you sort of been jamming a lot just on that set? No heavy stuff?
Well, so we've actually just finished recording album 2.
Oh, awesome.
So we spent pretty much the entirety of late December through to the end of February, realistically, recording that. So that's all done and out of our hands now. So that's very exciting. So we were jamming on that stuff, obviously, in the lead up to that. But this past kind of month or so has just been focusing and knuckling down on the acoustic stuff and putting some new songs in the set to change it up for the Brisbane and Gold Coast fans and learn some new songs and maybe even sneak in some new songs off the new album in there in an acoustic format. So you never know your luck. How's
that been? Like with the new material and you haven't, I don't know how much of the new material you've been played or has been played live, but how's it sort of none? It's sort of like
all brand new.
You've got it all recorded, and it's like, okay, let's take that and mess around with it and strip it back a little bit. I can imagine that being a bit of a challenge in itself.
Yes. I mean, I was going to say not really for me, but there's one song that we're still toying around the idea of putting in the set. And I can tell you right now that it's the only song on the record that has no clean vocals in it whatsoever. So trying to find vocal melodies in what would otherwise be an entirely scream song and then put it in an acoustic setting just to be like, let's flip this song completely on its head. It's definitely been challenging, but, Anthony and Lucas, everyone's amazing and, putting their 2 cents in to kind of rework parts and make it work in an acoustic setting. So yeah, it's really cool. I have, so much admiration for my bandmates and their ability to not only be incredible players and performers, but just incredible writers and arrangers as well. It makes my job very easy to just sit there and sing the pretty words at people.
Well, are you going to be recording the tour? Have you guys got plans to maybe do like a live recording, like DVD or CD or?
Yeah, it's a great suggestion. We actually recorded the Brisbane show when we first did the acoustic thing back in, I think it would have been August, whenever we did the first kind of experiment of this show format. And so we actually have all the audio from that sitting around, and we had an amazing photographer and videographer come in and shoot those shows as well. So we might or might not be working around something with that stuff, but we'll see. We'll see what happens with the tour, and maybe we can line something up and do some sort of like greatest hits of Valhalore acoustic.
Hey man, I think it's a really cool idea for sure. Because there's so many moving parts to your band that I people don't actually realize, especially when it comes to the stripped back acoustic stuff and the heavy stuff. Like and then trying to, translate them in different ways. So I think people would find that very interesting to hear that and listen to that and get those alternate versions. Let me try that one again.
I'm stumbling too, mate.
Oh, mate, past my bedtime. It's 9:00. Anyway, yeah, I think that'd be a really cool idea. But
yeah, for sure,
man, awesome. Moe's kicks off at Moe's on April 3rd in
sure does.
the neck of the woods.
Mm-hmm.
What an
very cool venue. Oh, it's such a sick venue. I think I've only actually been there maybe twice myself, sadly. So I'm very keen to actually get up and have a play this time. So it'll be good fun. Yeah,
man. I was there last night. I saw Astro Death with Black Swamp there. And it was
amazing.
Sunday set.
Great band. Yeah.
Man.
You're right. It's just a cool place, and it always is just full of cool people. It's run by cool people, obviously run by musos, so they get how to put on a cool event. So, stoked to be playing there for sure.
Yeah, shout out to Christian. And the thing I like about it is the big screen as well. You can have your big. You don't have to lug a big,
like stage banner
and put it up, but it's all half hanging off. It's just straight up there. So
bam, boom. Yeah. Again, computers, aliens, technology,
science,
lights. I'm a simple man, dude. I like trees and I like singing songs about trees.
Oh man, but of course, you, as you mentioned before, you've just wrapped up in the studio. How long did that sort of take?
In terms of I guess the writing side of it, there's been a lot of ideas for songs. I mean, especially with last year being what it was, we were it forced us to really think about creating new music and rehashing some old ideas that might not have made the cut kind of the first time around, and everyone kind of bringing their ideas to the table. So that probably took the better part of a year. I mean, there's some material there that's been in the think tank, I think, in terms of Anthony's old demos for close to 11 years now and stuff that's finally seeing the light of day. But in terms of production, we were super duper lucky. We reached out to an incredible producer, Sam Vallon of Caligula's Horse fame. Yeah.
Of course. Good dude.
And so, amazing band, amazing dude. And we saw that he was, trying to spend some more time doing the producer thing. So we just kind of cold emailed him and said, hey, would you be interested? And sure enough, he jumped on board. And then from woe to go, I think from that first email, we were then in the studio within 3 weeks later. So suddenly the pre-production process just raced by. And then, as I said, I think we kicked off recording the 29th of December and we finished recording on the 28th of February. And it was a pretty condensed kind of schedule in that time, not only just recording the band stuff, but we had a bunch of amazing guest musicians come in for this record. And so we've got some really, really cool, other instruments and other parts. And we're working with someone very hush-hush overseas at the moment and doing all this kind of stuff. So I don't know, it's a really cool record. I'm
glad. It's awesome to see you're excited about it. Who's the person you're working with overseas?
I can't tell you yet.
Oh, see, sometimes I can get you to spill a bit, but
Nah.
All right.
Yeah, I was chatting to them today via the wonders of the emails as they sent us some more incredible recordings to slot into our recordings, and it's very, very cool. And as you say, I'm hyped about it, and I don't really get hyped about stuff, so it means it must be pretty cool.
All right, keep your secrets.
Oh, I shall.
Well, of course, I mean, with the tour, how are you approaching it with, obviously there's still going to be some restrictions in certain areas. How much planning does that take?
Look, it's such a just ever-changing landscape, especially when you look at places like Victoria and even in Brisbane. We've had a flare-up in this past kind of couple of days. So it's just a case of, keeping in touch with the venues, making sure that we're doing our due diligence in terms of making sure we're doing the right thing, and just constantly checking in and understanding that some venues still have capacity restrictions and things like that. But I mean, I guess the joy of this show being an acoustic show, if people are sitting down, it kind of works in that way. And if they're standing up, they can have a dance. Fantastic. So it's, anything works. Again, we're just happy to be out on the road again, because we're very much a touring band. We like traveling and doing stuff. I mean, heck, we're meant to be in Europe right now. If things had, if COVID hadn't happened, I think we'd be in like Budapest or something today. So who knows? But yeah, crazy times.
It is crazy times. Times. But of course, when it comes to the musical style of the band, you seem to draw from, a lot of traditional Nordic influences, and there aren't many bands here in Australia that do that in, this part of the world.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
I think it's definitely, I think we kind of drawn, I don't know how to say this without sounding like a bit of a dickhead, but, I guess we just write the songs that we wish existed so that we can listen to them, because we're all just music fans first and foremost. So it's like, I don't know, if songs like ours already existed, we wouldn't have to write them. You know what I mean? I don't know if that sounds a bit self-indulgent.
No.
We just write the music that we as music listeners want to hear. So yeah, there's drawing from the Nordic stuff and lots of the Celtic stuff as well, and kind of just marrying them all together with some orchestras and some heavy metal for good measure.
It's big down here. It's look, you guys are just killing it, which is evident that people love that stuff. But over there, it's huge. It's massive.
It's massive,
and it's very well respected as well. I mean, look at like Wardruna. We
love Wardruna. That's one of our go-tos. So yeah, big Wardruna fans here in the Valhalore camp.
Hey, but it seems that it's a very respected genre over there, even with the metal side of things blended in.
Yeah, definitely. I think just because, when you, especially a band like Wardruna, because it is coming from such a traditional place and, obviously celebrating such, the rich tapestry of that culture.
Yeah.
And so, I don't know, whereas we kind of just do our Aussie bastardized version of it. But, it's
good, man. I wouldn't say at all.
I think just to be in a folk metal band, you kind of have to be a bit of a nerd, really. So you've got to enjoy all the historical and mythological aspects of kind of what you're working with.
Mate, that's awesome. Have you found that a bulk of your fan base has really grown over there because of that?
Yeah, I'd say so. I mean, the joy of things, the double-edged sword that is Spotify. As a music listener, you love it. As a music producer, it is what it is. So, but I mean, the joy of it being through online platforms and stuff, we get our kind of reports, I guess, and we see that most of our fans aren't actually in Australia. They're over in places like Finland and Germany and all that. So yeah, we're obviously doing something not too offensive to them, because they seem to enjoy it over there. So yeah, I hope we're doing the Aussies proud in the process.
Absolutely. You kick your ass, brother. It's awesome to see.
Oh, thanks, mate. Appreciate it.
No, it's proud of you. And you did Japan as well, which is
that was awesome. That was such a cool week. That's a bucket list moment. Just tick, really cool. I'm very lucky with this band. I've been able to tick off a lot of, I don't know, the childhood rock star dreams, I guess. So very thankful for that. Yeah,
man. In saying that, with playing Japan, how were the responses over there? Because that's like a whole different world,
different thing. Yeah, it was like we'd had a few mates who'd been over there and done the shows over there before and kind of warned us, I guess, what to expect and how the culture is so different. And I don't know, it was the easiest. Like, even though it was such a short run, it was just the easiest, smoothest tour that we've ever been involved with, because everyone over there on a production level is just so efficient and everyone's just so respectful and so appreciative. And it's one of those beautiful things of, you walk out, like I remember the first night we played in Tokyo, and we're, like middle of the bill kind of things, where there's nothing banned from Australia. And you just walk out and there's like just 1,000 people who just all start cheering, and then they have that little eruption moment, and then they're just dead quiet and they just appreciate what you're doing. But if you ask them to do something, they'll do it straight back at you at 100% intensity. So they just wait for you to tell them what to do. So it's a dream crowd, really. You can be like, circle pit now, and they do this, or just, stand and appreciate, or clap now. And they just, I don't know, it goes off. They're really, really cool. Hoping to get back there very, very soon, actually. So see how we go.
That's like my dream.
Yeah. Oh, it's mental. Yeah, that's the thing. Our mates had been over there before. We're like, once you've done Japan, it's going to ruin all other touring for you because it is just like the easiest gig. Everyone's so lovely. The audiences are great. The staff all know what they're doing. The venues are immaculately clean. Like, I don't know, the weird off-tangent moment, but the thing that I think all of us loved most about Japan, which is such a little detail but made such a difference, every venue had a curtain that as soon as a band would finish, curtain, scene change, curtain opens, brand new band. And we're just like, it adds to the mystique because, there's nothing less glamorous than getting ready for like your headline set and you're running there trying to find a patch bay in the dark and, you're half dressed in your stage clobber and you're just reaching around. Whereas they can't see that. It's just happening miraculously. Curtain opens and bam, there's the show. So, note to Aussie venues, put curtains in.
It's true. It's true. Here, we're just used to like, spilling our beer and carrying out the drinks and yelling at each other and going, this thing's not working. Everyone's just a little maybe they need to bring that back. You're right. Absolutely.
Yeah. Bring back the curtains because it ruins the magic again when you see me running around trying to give everyone like waters and make sure your mic's working or whatever. It's silliness, but it keeps it real. It keeps us honest.
They don't have hecklers in Japan though, by the sounds of things.
No. It was just so polite. I think the only people who heckled us were, I think, other Aussies who happened to be like either there on a holiday. Because I saw a bunch of like Aussie band shirts in the crowd. I'm like, hang on, you look decidedly not Japanese. Anyway.
Oh, that's awesome. That's no.
Awesome.
It'd be weird without hecklers. But hey, man, it seemed like it was awesome. But Camelot as well. You guys did. Camelot, which is
again. Huge, man. Like they're probably easily one of my top 5 all-time favorite bands, and I know Lucas, our guitarist, like number 1 all-time favorite band. So to get that email, just again, bucket list tick. and it was just this cool thing of seeing such an established band and such seasoned pros just doing their thing night after night. And it was, again, I don't know if it's weird to say, but there was no real, I guess, difference between us and them other than like duration of career. Like it's just, 6 people getting up night after night, doing the trudge from venue to venue, hotel to airport to whatever, loading in your gear, you do your sound check, you go away. They get far nicer food and wine and things than we do. But then, at the end of the day, it's all kind of just the same. It was really refreshing just how down to earth even a band of that magnitude were. So yeah, definitely another dream come true. Like that was crazy. I mean, singing before Tommy Karavik for a week, that was, stressful, but very, very cool.
Have you stayed in touch with them?
Yeah, surprisingly. It's always nice, you'll post something on the Insta or whatever and you see, Tommy Karavik liked your thing or Camelot like this. And so, I don't know, they'll send us a message occasionally and we chat to Lauren Hart from Once Human, who was the guest vocalist on that album and then on the tour because she's an Aussie as well. So that was a good connection to kind of establish over that tour.
I know Lauren. Lauren's awesome.
Lauren's awesome. They were all just awesome because, we're expecting them, we're the support band, whatever. We're not expecting anything. And then, the first night all of us went out for dinner together and it was just a hoot from the get-go. We ended up at an Irish pub in the middle of Queen Street in Brisbane, just, at like 1 a.m, just drinking beer, like drinking Furfies, being like, here, have an Australian beer with the Camelot guys. It was good fun.
That's awesome. Have you got a bucket list band? Is there one that's on your own list that you're just like, that would be the
one? There's a couple. It's hard to pick it to just one. I can probably give you 3, not including Camelot because that's already a bucket list. All right, Nightwish, Blind Guardian, and Winter Sun. That would be like my 3.
That's solid.
Yeah.
That would be a solid tour altogether.
Just to put them all in the one thing.
And you guys, man, you'd probably explode.
I would explode. I wouldn't be able to go on stage. I'd be in the ER for the whole tour in cardiac arrest. But anyway.
With a wireless.
Yeah. Hey guys.
A little headset. Yeah. But man, that would be incredible. But
that'd be incredible.
Do you guys get asked to play like medieval festivals and things like that, doing the acoustic thing, like the odd out of the box sort of show?
Kind of, but not. The most out of the box thing so far. It's funny that you say that, because it's actually something that we've tried to pitch ourselves to. Like, we've approached, Abbey Medieval Festival and things like that a few times, saying, we're this kind of folk metal band, and especially, as you say, now with the acoustic show, I think it'd be an easier sell. But no, we've not done anything like that, but we're very open to it. I think, the most out of the box thing we got asked to do was a gig that was meant to go ahead this time last year, again, kind of when COVID happened, so it didn't happen. But it was a big like LARP and LAN party event. So it was like this kind of gaming, LARPing, heavy metal festival all rolled into one. It was just a nerd's wet dream, really. And then we were really bummed that gig didn't go ahead in its entirety. So yeah, but no, always keen to do things that are a little bit left of center. I think we can get away with it.
Absolutely. And outside of the band, you're pretty active musically as well. I mean,
yeah,
you playing. You got another couple of bands, or is it one other band playing saxophone, or what's your?
Yes. I'm a full-time member of a gypsy jazz group, playing sax and doing backing vocals in that, called Slips and the FWs. Shout out to Slips and the FWs. So that's my other kind of full-time gig. I'm very lucky in a sense that I'm able to say wholeheartedly that I'm a full-time musician, whatever that means. And then beyond that, I just go where the work is, really. I'm very lucky that I've just, made enough friends in the industry and made enough connections through years of kind of just doing the thing that, I get offered a wedding here and there, or a corporate gig here and there, and then some jazz stuff, and then the metal thing, obviously, and then, guesting and recordings and stuff like that, and doing session work. So yeah, I'm a busy beaver, but it, keeps me working, keeps a roof over my head, and I'm very, very grateful.
That's awesome. Because did you grow up on the Gold Coast?
I'm a Brizzy boy, so I've
just
always, So I moved to the Gold Coast to do just working down there. I did a year at the Dracula's
That's
cabaret.
Where
Yeah, so I was there for a year. So that was when I kind of moved to the Gold Coast and relocated down there for a bit. But yeah, always been from Brizzy. Yeah.
Hey, there you go. Yeah, I knew there was something there. I knew that you were on the coast, I didn't know if you were a coast boy from from way back.
Not originally. I'm an adopted coast boy.
Yeah. All right. Well, it's cooler to say Brisbane, right?
Yeah. Something like that.
So, I mean, what else you guys got cooking up for the rest of the year? I mean, you got your album. Has it got a title yet?
It does, and I can't say things because there's a lot of red tape, and I think that's the most frustrating thing. Is like, you kind of get through this. I think it was like 6 or 7 weeks of just exhausting recording process, and it was awesome, and you're so hyped up, and you get to the end of it and you're like, oh, thank goodness it's done, and like so proud of it. And then you're like, cool, and when can we release this? We don't know yet. Cool, all right. So everything's kind of up in the air, but hopefully we'll have it out this year, depending on a lot of things beyond our control.
All right. Well,
yes, I know. Very cryptic. I'm sorry.
I'm trying.
You're working hard. I appreciate it.
I know. That's all right. Maybe I need to get like hypnotize you.
I'll hypnotize me. Yeah. Look, I am quite sleepy. It would probably work.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, spill the beads. But I'm very tired too. This is what we do. Just ramble it on.
That's good. Two mates having a chat with love heart balloons in the background. It's great.
Mate, and that's it. And a beer that's not really a beer.
And a beer that's not really a beer.
I drank the beer and then went, I need more liquid, and filled it.
More liquid.
Which is disappointing because every time I go to drink it,
you're expecting the beer.
And my brain goes, "That's not beer, idiot." And I'll go, "Oh, yeah." Okay. Well,
sad. Whatever gets you through the night.
I know, man. I know. That's right. But of course, I mean, are you looking forward to doing the full metal, loud, turn the amps up tour as well later down?
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, there's definitely plans in place. Again, like, sadly, it's a blessing that album stuff is kind of out of our hands, but the other side of it is you don't know when things are going to be done, really. Yeah. So, we've got a lot of very exciting plans for a full-blown tour when that happens, and if that happens this year, we don't know. But no, the cogs are definitely turning, and the bandmates are telling me to settle down with my crazy pyrotechnic ideas and things like that. So,
hey, I'm totally all for it.
No, I'm a theatre kid, man. You know, I think the more ridiculously extravagant the show, the better. You know, I don't want to. Anyone can get up and, you know, rock out in shorts and a t-shirt. There's nothing wrong with that. But I'm like, hell, I want to get up and wear ridiculous costumes and jump off, you know, sets and have the Pink Floyd laser show and the pyrotechnics. And I want the full shebang. You know, go big or go home.
Well, that's it. In saying that, if you could build a big, like, extravagant set, you know, like you've got a Monomath, have got their boat,
Yeah,
Biscuit have got their toilet. What what would you build? What would be the ideal thing for you?
It's crazy because I've already designed it and I'm figuring out how tourable it would be. Have you played the God of War video games? Like I think it's God of War 3, the Viking-y one. Is it? Yeah. You know, like the white.
I know the one.
Yeah. And the big white, like, tree of life where they travel to and from between all the worlds. Essentially, just imagine a big white Yggdrasil in the middle of the stage that doubles as a drum riser. Yeah, that. With a bunch of screens behind it so the night can change and we can be wherever we want to be. That's yeah.
And flames.
And flames, exactly.
Yeah, man. See?
Yeah, just a big
forest. Dude, some money. Just
money.
All the money.
Lots of money. Being in a band is expensive.
Man, that's why I'm broke. But dude, I hope that dream comes true, and I'll be there for it. But in the meantime, let's have a beer at Moe's on the Gold Coast on April 3rd. That's going to kick ass. All the tickets are on sale now for the Intimate and Acoustic tour. Brother, thanks for hanging out on this show. All the links will be down here. Stay safe, and we'll have to do this again in person and drink beers.
Sounds great. Like real beers, people beers. Awesome, mate. No, thank you for having me. It's been an absolute pleasure, and can't wait to do it for real.